What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 704 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2025. It's KB coming at you from Underground Studios, and joining me as he does on every episode that you listen to on a Thursday or later in the week, it is the one and only Harrison Kremens, a.k.a. HK, coming to you from South Jersey, doing the dang thing. We got a fun episode. We're going to talk some birds, as it is crazy to think about, but it is the final week of the NFL regular season. We'll break it all down. We'll talk if Saquon's playing, if Jalen Hurts is cleared from concussion protocol, the whole 9 yards. We'll go around the NFL as we gear up for what should be an exciting playoffs come next week. Crazy to think the playoffs start next week. We'll talk some Flyers, Sixers, and Phils as well. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials across the board at Underground PHI. Search Underground Sports Philadelphia on your social media app of choice. We're on every single platform. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Helps more people find our entire catalog of podcasts, which includes the revival of Top Bins, the show bringing you everything you need to know about the Premier League, Serie A, the whole 9 yards of professional soccer. And don't be alarmed, but F1 Underground is going by a new name, has a new look going into this year. It is now the Underground Circuit. No vowels in Underground except for that leading you. Go subscribe to Casey and Owen's phenomenal motorsports podcast. Same podcast, just a new name and a new look as we head into this new year. And of course, guys, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We are 18 subscribers away from 900, which means we're 118 away from 1,000. Let's get there. Let's make that happen in this first month of 2025. Let's get there before our little schmaniversary that comes up in February. Let's make that go down. youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. And of course, this show is proudly presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to remain engaged with city government and participate in local events and build awareness about everything going on in my awesome hometown that is Vineland, New Jersey. You can also follow the City of Vineland on their social media pages via Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Happy New Year, Harrison. How we living in the very wee early stages of 2025?
Happy New Year right back to you. And this is the year we are going to thrive because you know it rhymes with thrive. 2025. We're having a good
Oh,
we are about to have a great year. I feel it in my bones. And
I couldn't
yeah.
agree with you more. I saw a post that our former colleague and always good friend, Brooke Destra, posted on her Instagram story, and I had to repost it myself. 2025. I'm gonna pull this up for the people because it's so true. It's the way I feel about us going into this year. And if you're not feeling this way, I hope that this resonates with you and helps you feel that way. Because this comes from We the Urban on Instagram. They posted this. So 2020 was the year of survival. 2021 was the year of resetting. 2022 was the year of loss and lessons. 2023 was the year of subtle progress. 2024 was the year of preparation. And 2025 is the year of ascension.
Yeah, I like that. I like
All
that.
about that. I'm ready to ascend
Yes,
on this
sir.
podcast. I'm ready for our company to ascend this year. We have so much planned that I'm so excited about. And that's not even like scratching the surface of the things that I'm like conjuring in my brain that we want to accomplish in 2025 on this show. And I know Casey and Owen did it on the underground circuit on the most recent episode. We'll probably do it at the end of the show too, kind of list off some goals that we have for this show, some things that we want to achieve this year on Underground Sports Philadelphia for this company as a whole. So stay tuned for that as well. But Harrison, we got Eagles football to discuss for the people.
Yeah, we do.
One final week of the regular season on the table coming up here on Sunday at 1 p.m. on CBS, on Paramount Plus. Check your local listings there if you can stream the game. No Saquon Barkley this week. He will be resting. No Jalen Hurts. He is still in concussion protocol. And you would think the world is coming to an end because everyone is losing their minds that Saquon Barkley is going to be sitting out. They're losing their minds that players are going to be resting. They think that Nick Sirianni did not discuss this with any of the players, and the fact that Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol is mind-boggling to a lot of people. Now, on the surface, I will say when I saw the post about Jalen Hurts still being in concussion protocol, I was a bit concerned off the rip. I was like, ooh, that feels like so long that he's been in the protocol. But that is because, guys, the Philadelphia Eagles have not conducted an actual practice yet this week. They will practice on Thursday. By the time you guys are listening to this, today was just a simulated like walkthrough, and because they did not practice, Jalen Hurts cannot like by law get cleared from the concussion protocol because he would have to conduct a full practice and then they have to retest him to see where he is on the concussion spectrum there.
Yep.
So kind of a nothing burger there. Save the reaction for tomorrow after practice or today by the time you guys are listening to this. The unfortunate thing is Saquon Barkley will not be playing in this game, and I understand the frustrations. Apparently, Saquon's family not too thrilled that, he's not going to be playing because now his name will not be etched in the record books. I get it. I also feel for Saquon because it's not often that you get the opportunity to have something so close in front of you and being able to reach out and grab it and being prohibited from doing it. But I also think due to the fact that the Eagles are resting players, it would be organizational malpractice to have Saquon out there all the while having guys like Lane Johnson and Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson and Mailata potentially not in the lineup at the same time. Having Saquon run behind your backup offensive line would be a disaster because the Giants would be doing everything in their power to prevent Saquon from doing the damn thing. So while it sucks, while it's unfortunate, it's still extremely cool that Saquon is the 9th member of the 2,000-yard club. And it sucks he won't be getting the record, but hey, who's to say Saquon can't do it again?
Yeah, this is just year one of Saquon and Midnight Green. He is playing at an unbelievable pace right now. This offensive line, for the most part, is pretty damn young. except for Lane, but Lane's got at least a few more good years.
Lane's talked about he wants to play at least 3 to 4 more years.
Yeah, and they're going to be a good 3 to 4 more years. So he's going to be back. He might get a second shot at the record. And did I want him to do it this year? Absolutely. I mean, I got my Saquon jersey on right now. I love the guy. But if you go back to last year, in a nothing game when we already had the playoffs clinched, A.J. Brown got injured, and that really hurt us against the Bucs. I'd rather go into this first-round playoff matchup, whether it be against Green Bay or whether it be against Washington, completely healthy. And if that means Jalen is cleared from concussion protocol tomorrow and doesn't play on Sunday, perfect. That means Saquon has to rest, perfect. Put in Tanner McKee. Put in our third-string guys. Let them put up their stat pads and show why they are professional NFL players. And again, this game doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. We're the 2 seed. That ain't going anywhere. Like if the Vikings and the Lions had lost last week, then we go all in, try to get that 1 seed. But we are locked in. It does not matter.
Yeah. And I think too, like the big takeaway, because the Eagles put out their estimated injury report today, the big thing for me is that Nakobe Dean would have been an estimated full participant in practice today.
Yeah.
That's more important to me than anything else, knowing that Nakobe's like good to go after having a week off because of the abdomen injury.
Yeah. And I mean, playing through injury, we talk about Kenny Pickett. He was playing through broken ribs, and we don't want to put any of our other players in that kind of scenario. Just rest everybody. If the plan was to rest everybody, because we do not want a repeat of last year. And honestly, I want the Commanders, because the rule is you don't beat a team 3 times. And considering we lost once to them, we're going to be back on home turf against them. That's an NFC East rivalry game. I have a good feeling about that game. No matter how good Jaden Daniels is playing, it's rare for a rookie quarterback to do that well in their first playoff game. Last year with C.J. Stroud was an anomaly. So I feel good about our chances.
I'm totally fine with either team, and I've been like weighing this scale and putting like pieces over here in favor of wanting to play the Washington and over here in favor of wanting to play Green Bay. Green Bay doesn't concern me like it does a lot of people in this aspect. They are extremely Jekyll and Hyde, and the benefit for the Eagles is that our secondary, I think, would thrive against their wide receivers again. The other benefit of playing Green Bay is we've played them already, so we do have a bit of film on them, so it's not like a complete unknown. Not that Washington would be either, but you've played them more recently. The other benefit is you'd be at home for a game against Green Bay where you were in a different hemisphere and a different time zone and a different country for the first time you played them.
We were technically the home team there, but that ain't a home game. That ain't a home game.
So you'd finally get your lick back on the NFL for not having an actual home game against Green Bay. But my concern with Green Bay is that Jordan Love and a lot of the players on that team have playoff experience, and they have a winning playoff experience. And I personally believe Matt LaFleur greater than signed Dan Quinn.
Yeah, no, wait. My mind blanked there for a second. I agree.
Definitely better than Dan Quinn as a head coach.
Yeah. I heard Dan, and my mind went, Dan Campbell, what?
I also think Matt LaFleur, overall better coach than Dan Campbell. But I think they're in the same tier list.
I agree.
They're both like S tier coaches, along with Nick Sirianni.
I would rather run through a brick wall for Dan Campbell, but I think I'd rather play for Matt LaFleur. It's like it's up in the air, but like it's just by a little bit. It
depends on the coaching style you prefer. But I think both of those coaches are great coaches. But I think LaFleur greater than Dan Quinn.
Absolutely. And it's because Quinn's a little bit fresher too.
Right. And I also prefer Green Bay because they traded off a key member of their defense to the Pittsburgh Steelers at the trade deadline. So you made yourselves weaker and still made the playoffs. And Green Bay has not beaten a team that is a playoff team this year.
They came
outside of
damn
their
close. I mean, they choked the first half away against the Vikings last week, but they made a show of it near the end.
Their wins this year. So they lost to the Eagles.
Yep.
They lost to the Vikings in September. They beat the Rams, but the Rams, again, very Jekyll and Hyde team. But I'll give them credit for that win because it was early in the season. They lost to the Lions. They lost to the Lions again.
Yep.
They lost to the Vikings again. Like, the only playoff teams they've beaten this year in the regular season are the Rams, the Texans by 2, that's it.
That's it. That's the
They've
list.
beaten 2 playoff teams, one from the NFC, one from the AFC.
Yep.
That to me is just like, I don't know. They give off bargain brand Ravens where like Josh Jacobs has been very good, and like they obviously the Ravens have Derrick Henry, but the Eagles were able to shut down the Ravens offense, and Lamar Jackson is a far better quarterback than Jordan Love.
Yep.
So I don't mind the Packers if it ends up being that. The thing with Washington that concerns me is they're a division rival, and we saw in the last game we played against them, they are willing to do whatever it takes to injure our players, and I don't want anyone else getting injured throughout the duration of the playoffs.
Yeah, we don't want any hunting out of their defense towards us.
And I think if we avoid Washington, the only time we would play them would be the NFC Championship game, and I don't see them getting there.
No. I'm sticking to my guns here. I really think it's going to be the Eagles and the Lions in the NFC Championship game. So I am hoping that the Vikings can pull off a coup this week and beat them and secure that 1 seed, because I don't trust the Vikings at all. They look good in the regular season, but as history has shown, they choke in the big moments in the playoffs. So
I'm more concerned about Minnesota having home field advantage, though.
I mean, yeah, but the Eagles have shown that they can go on the road and put on a show wherever they go. So I really don't think about home field advantage when it comes to the Eagles, because first of all, Eagles fans travel better than any other fan base in the NFL. So they have the opportunity to take home field advantage away from everybody.
Because the way I look at it too is like, if Detroit has to go down to Tampa Bay and play the Buccaneers.
Oh yeah.
Because whoever's getting that 5 seed's going to Tampa Bay or, in the off chance, Atlanta. But
going down to Tampa Bay, as we found out last year, is a very difficult time, especially in the playoffs. Baker's been playing.
And because there's no reseeding in the NFL playoffs, which I'm totally fine with, it would be the Eagles playing the 7 seed. So then we would play the winner of, I believe, that 4-5.
I believe.
Or does Detroit play the winner, or the 1 seed play the winner of 4-5?
I think the 1 seed plays the 4-5 because
they would play 3-6, I think, because if the 6 seed survives, you play the lowest seed. I think that's how it works.
I think so too. Or it might be the 4-5 because you're guaranteed to play a lower seed than the 3 in that case. Very unsure though. And
all that to say is I ain't scared of anybody in the NFL playoffs.
No,
I'm not scared of anybody.
Even the Lions don't give me pause for concern because they're a great team, but they're beat up to hell.
26% of their roster is on the injured reserve.
Exactly. And I really think that the Eagles...
They struggled to beat the hospital 49ers.
Yeah. And Jake Bates is an absolute weirdo. Did you catch that clip?
Certified Looney Tune.
Yeah, well, I mean, kickers in the NFL are like goalies in hockey.
Absolutely. Well, I knew he was a Looney Tune after the Texans game that the Lions beat the Texans in that disgusting game that absolutely plummeted Jared Goff's MVP chances.
Yeah, and then he
Because
back up and lost the game while throwing 5 touchdowns.
and he went on a whole like Jesus diatribe in his post game thing. I was like, oh gosh, he's probably funding the Jesus is one of us commercials that Hobby Lobby's owner puts up on the TV.
Those ads need to stop. After
They need to go.
that weird foot washing ad and what?
Oh,
here the Super Bowl.
brother, ew.
Ew. No,
brother.
those are just insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Get that shit off my public TV.
I'm also disgusted that looking right now at the NFL's website showing the teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Texans logo that they're showing is that XFL looking H that they use.
They're not doing the real Texans logo.
They don't have the real Texans logo showed right now.
That's some Bush League crap right there.
Wild.
Come on now.
That logo's so bad.
That'd be like showing this new E from the Eagles logo, which I love the jersey, but like this,
I hate that word mark.
This word mark sucks. Go back to the old one, Philly. Come on now.
That word mark is straight off of dafont.com.
Yeah, and the old one was the best
Clean.
in the NFL.
Clean.
The best in the NFL.
Like, I took a trip to the Eagles Pro Shop during like Thanksgiving time because I was looking for something for somebody, and they had Jason Kelce jerseys, and I was like, I really want to get a Jason Kelce jersey, but all of them had that word font on the thing, and I was like, I'm gonna go on eBay and find an old one because I refuse to have a Jason Kelce jersey with that word script on it. It's so bad. It's so bad. It makes my skin crawl.
And I think that's part of the reason we lost the Super Bowl in 2022. It was just that bad look in the end zone. If we had the old look in the end zone, that would have been a dump.
So gentrified.
It really is. It's as you said, gentrified. It's the gentrified Philadelphia Eagles logo.
It's literally going from SpongeBob to normal SpongeBob.
Yeah.
That word script looks like, "Hi, how are you?"
Hi.
Ugh.
How are you? I just came back from my 9 to 5, and now I'm gonna go sit down.
Nice weather we're having.
Nice weather.
All right. See you next week.
See you next week. Yeah.
So
no, I agree. I agree.
It's so bad. Ugh.
But
yeah, no Saquon. Jalen's still in concussion protocol.
For now, he'll be taken out of it tomorrow probably, and just let him rest.
Yeah.
Let him get it. Let him literally get his head right.
Right.
And then we can worry about the playoffs when the playoffs roll around. We're talking about playoffs.
Right. Giants coming to town. Blackout game, which I personally love. Now I don't remember if I've ever told you this. I attended the first blackout game that the Eagles ever had against the Giants when Victor Cruz unfortunately got injured in the end zone.
Yeah.
That was the first one. I love that it is now kind of tradition for the Eagles to wear the blackout uniform against the Giants.
Yeah, the blackout game is the Giants game. That is what it is, and that just works because
now I did get bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived by the Eagles themselves or the Eagles app developer, because prior to the Pittsburgh Steelers game, there was an app update to clean up like bug fixes for the Eagles app, and typically the Eagles app changes color to match whatever the jersey of the week is, whether it be green or black. They changed it to black prior to the Steelers game, and I was like, oh, they're wearing against the Steelers. That's kind of nifty. I like that. And then it has not gone back to green, and I think somebody just hit a wrong button and nobody knows.
That's a possibility. I mean, we've been focused on winning and getting the job done, so that kind of took a backseat.
Yeah, it's not like we have our GM owners' kids playing Xbox and running our teams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have you seen his Madden rating? I think you should sign him.
Have we talked about on this show, too? Not that we're a Jets show, but we like making fun of the Jets because guess what, guys? We, unfortunately, as New Jersey citizens, have to pay taxes on that shithole of a stadium.
Oh, it's the worst stadium in football.
It's the worst. Can we make a point of reference that Woody Johnson's family, including Woody and the 3 Woody Johnsons before him, They like naming the men in their family after erections.
Yeah, we got Woody and then we got Brick.
And you know his other son's name too.
No, what is it?
Brick's brother's name is Jack.
Oh, good.
Jack
Lord.
Johnson.
Jack Johnson.
Jack and Brick Johnson. Yeah, that's my dad, Woody.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
There's no better way to sum up the New York Jets as a franchise than the owner's and his family's name. Just it just needs to be a little bit more limp, and then we're good.
The flaccid Jets.
God, yeah, I saw a tweet earlier today. I was like, "Yeah, the Jets are eliminated from playoff contention, but at least you can go onto Netflix and watch your quarterback do drugs and miss practice."
Or as I like to call that, an episode of the Pat McAfee Show.
Hey!
But our last game of the season, like, I still want the Eagles to perform. I hate losing. I would still love to watch the backups demolish the New York Giants. I think the key of the game is just let Tanner McKee cook.
The kid is good.
Like, I'm not saying he's a bona fide, like, should be a starting quarterback in the NFL next year type player. He's not there yet. Could he eventually get there and kind of be on like a Baker Mayfield kind of trajectory where, like, maybe down the line, whether it's with the Eagles or somebody else, he ends up as a starter and has like a gunslinging type of career? Sure. But I like what I saw from Tanner McKee last week. I liked Tanner McKee when the Eagles drafted him and watched a little bit of his highlights and everything coming out of Stanford. I also love that Jordan Mailata refers to him as the Mormon Missile.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
How BYU missed out on that kid is beyond me. But I think he's solid. Like, he's the type of quarterback the Eagles need as a backup, like, every year. Like, that's your AJ Feely, your Jeff Garcia, your Nick Foles. Like, he's that prototype. Kenny Pickett's that prototype. Yeah. Like, what Kenny Pickett did last week against the Cowboys, I tweeted this. I said it firmly entrenched him into Eagles legend status in the same breath as a Nick Foles, not to that degree, but in that stratosphere of like Foles, Jeff Garcia, AJ Feely.
Never forget Indiana Hoosiers legend Nate Sudfeld,
like that type of guy is what Kenny Pickett is. That's the type of player Tanner McKee is, and that's what the Eagles should continue to do with the backup quarterback position year in and year out. Let him cook, see what he can do. Like, let him lob. Like, I hope Tanner McKee throws 5 touchdowns to Jahan Dotson so Commanders fans can shut the fuck up about that trade. It would be so poetic to have him just boost Jahan's stats, because I personally think Jahan Dotson's a good receiver. He's just in a system with this Eagles team where the third receiver, and we see it with Olamide Zaccheaus right now, where he's in Washington and like they use him like crazy. The Eagles barely use the third wide receiver.
And why
it's not a necessity.
We have a wide receiver 1 in AJ Brown and a wide receiver 1A in Devontae Smith. Like, you put Devontae Smith on any other team in the NFL, he is their go-to guy every single snap. It's just the fact that we have AJ that makes him get less targets. And we saw it on Sunday. Every single time Devontae saw the ball, he was making a catch, making a big play downfield. The guy is so good, and I think he dropped that pass on purpose so we could clinch on home field and screw the Cowboys out of a playoff spot.
No, we did say that. Yeah. Sources are saying. Also, congratulations to Devontae. Got engaged on New Year's Eve. That is awesome. And he's obviously expecting baby number 2, like we mentioned. So that dad strength, that engaged strength, he's going to be over 9,000 come the playoffs.
Absolutely. He's been having a hell of a week, and that's just going to carry over into when we need him the most.
Now, the big thing going into this week, the Eagles open the 21-day practice window for one Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
I think that's huge going into the playoffs. Not that Grant Calcaterra has been bad. He's been fantastic in Dallas Goedert's absence. I think Dallas Goedert being back only helps the offense grow. When Jalen comes back, get him back into a groove of things, knowing he's got 2 safety blankets underneath, knowing he's got 2 demons on the outside, and knowing he's got Saquon Barkley, 2,000-yard club Saquon Barkley, ready to rock and roll. Dallas being healthy for the playoffs is like a trade deadline acquisition.
Absolutely. And as you said, you have 2 good tight ends ready to rock and roll. That could lead into some real sneaky plays out of Kellen Moore. You think Calcaterra is going to line up to block? No, actually, he's the one running a flare. You think Goddard's going to go out on an insane route? No, he's blocking for Jalen. So it's just sneaky stuff like that, and that's what the key to having 2 good tight ends does. And I'm not going to lie, I was watching that Penn State game last night. What if we have 3 great tight ends? We draft TJ Warren.
No, I like TJ Warren, the prospect. I don't like TJ Warren, the birth certificate. He's 25.
Oh, I did not realize that. Hey, nothing against 25-year-olds. Hey,
not at all. But I'd much rather my tight end prospect coming into the NFL at age like 22, 23 than granted, it's not like homie from Miami who spent almost a decade in college football.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a tweet.
The guy who was in the same draft recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence and
like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
And someone said, "You're meaning to tell me this motherfucker has played college football longer than the Rizzler's been alive?"
No.
Dude, it's crazy. That guy was a sophomore in college, but when the Rizzler was born.
God, that's insane. The Rizzler's what, 7 years old?
He's 8.
Good Lord.
Like that dude. The other fantastic thing, because there was like the video of him like hugging his coach or somebody or his dad. Like it was like I felt the same way when my parents told me to go get a job.
God damn it. God damn it. That's so good.
Like, oh, I feel seen. But yeah, I mean, I think Dallas Goedert being back is going to be big for this game in particular because you're going to allow him to kind of knock some rust off out from being injured and let Tanner McKee kind of dink and dunk to him a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, my play of the game, Dallas Goedert's going to score a touchdown in this game. Book it.
And it's the Giants. Like they're going to try and ruin their tank by beating the Eagles and oh my God, we beat the Eagles when they're going to be so good this year. No. If we lose, it's because we wanted to see the Giants.
The Giants are coming off this like enormous high of humiliating the Colts last week. They are going to fall so flat this week. It's going to be so funny. But yeah, book it. Give me a Dallas. Let's see what the odds are right now for a Dallas Goedert touchdown if it's available, because I know he hasn't been fully activated from injured reserve yet.
But either we win this game and we stomp on the Giants and we laugh at the decomposing corpse of what used to be Eli Manning's team, or we lose with our third stringers and the Giants ruin their tank. It's a win-win scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, does losing hurt? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things right now, because we are going to the playoffs, and they ain't. And they ruined their chances at Shedeur last week.
We don't have touchdown scorer props yet. But, I mean, the Eagles right now are 2.5-point favorites, even when it's projected that their starters are not going to be playing. So,
hammer that line. Hammer that.
I'm totally – Tanner McKee, I'm excited to watch him play a full game.
Hammer a Tanner McKee 250 and 2 touchdown line.
Are we going to get the Tanner Tush push?
The Tanner Tush push.
We got the Pickett push last week.
And honestly, great optics for Kenny with the helmet ripped off. You got to see the beautiful flow on live TV.
Nah, I'm saying this respectfully.
Respectfully.
That was a hot moment for Kenny Pickett.
Absolutely.
That was so hot. I was in a fandom perspective.
Yeah.
I was aroused.
Helmet
ripped off, and he did the little kickback of the fucking hair and everything, like Blue Mountain State type shit. I was like, oh, My heart was fluttering.
You know, every single girl in the South Jersey, Philadelphia region was
Oh
like
my God.
looking on their phones. Does Kenny Pickett have a girlfriend or a wife? Let me see that real quick.
I watched that clip on repeat like 10 times. I was like, Kenny Pickett's hot. He's a certified hot boy.
And he played good. He played
great.
good.
Dude, that is like Disney Channel original movie shit. Growing up an Eagles fan, I am now considering where Kenny Pickett grew up in Ocean County, South Jersey. Everywhere else is North Jersey.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett lived the dream. Like, grew up an Eagles fan. There's photos of him in every Eagles jersey under the sun. And then he gets to go and clinch the NFC East, clinch the number 2 seed at the Link in the Kelly Green jerseys that his dad grew up watching the Eagles wear against the Cowboys.
Dude, that's
and
every
win.
South Jersey kid's dream right there.
That
every
is
South
a
Jersey Philly kid's
dream.
Like, I used to go to bed at 7 years old just being like, let me be the run, because I wanted to be a running back just like Brian Westbrook. I
wanted to be David Akers so bad.
Oh my God, David Akers cemented himself as a Philly legend long before this, but like certified Philly legend for going into Dallas and be like,
"Hey Dallas,
hey Dallas, right here, buddy."
Oh, the best. Like, he lived the dream. Kenny Pickett's awesome. He's the best. I hope he stays an Eagle for as long as he wants.
Oh, he deserves it, especially after that showing. He deserves it.
But yeah, Tanner McKee, let him just chuck the ball around and see what he can do. This is like a great showcase for him in terms of what he's capable of and how the Eagles can utilize him moving forward. And just see what you do. And let Dallas Goedert play like a half, maybe, so you don't risk obviously injury full blown again. But like, let him get his legs back under him, let him knock some rust off, and let him play in this game, and then go out and do the damn thing, win this game, get to 14 wins. And hey, I saw a post from NBC Sports Philadelphia, Harrison. Apparently, the magic number in Eagles history is 13, because every time the Eagles have won 13 or more games, they've gone to the Super Bowl.
Yep. And look where we're at. We are right there. So I said it about halfway through the season to a couple of my buddies. If I'm an AFC team, the one team I don't want to see in the Super Bowl is Philadelphia.
Yep.
And I don't think there's a team in the AFC that can beat us unless the Chiefs pull some black magic out of their hat and we see some classic Patrick Mahomes bullshit, and the referees are just like chucking flags for him. So
it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Right.
And our Eagles breakdown was brought to you by our friends at 47 brand. Guys, 47 is the place to go for all of your favorite sports fans. I'm wearing the 47 Eagles hat right now. It's that classic vintage style. 47 is the place to go to shop, and they've got the best Eagle stuff. I have so much shit in my cart, Harrison. They've got like throwback, vintage style looking Super Bowl 52 shirts for the Eagles. They've got amazing stuff. Right now, they're running an extra 25% off already reduced sale styles when you use code EXTRA25 at checkout. Plus, I know Harrison will love this.
Ooh.
They got the Winter Classic stuff going.
Oh,
on the website now. They got it going on. So shop for your favorite sports fan all year round. Check out everything they've got to offer. If you're a college football fan, they got college football playoff stuff in stock for you. The Winter Classic stuff is absolutely beautiful. The shirt is so clean. It's literally a Chicago style hot dog with a hockey stick in his hand. Like, I'm not even a Blackhawks or a Blues fan. I might have to order this shirt because of how clean it is.
Oh yeah.
Shop for your favorite sports fan. Use our link in the description and get free shipping on all orders when you shop with our friends at 47 brand. Again, Link in the description. Click that bad boy so you get free shipping on all orders and shop their sale going on right now too. An extra 25% off already reduced sale styles when you use code extra25 for their year-end sale with our friends at 47. Brandon, join the 47 family today. One final week of the regular season upcoming, Harrison. We've got Saturday football, 2 games on Saturday, and they are all AFC North. 4:30 p.m. We got Browns at the Ravens, 8 o'clock, Bengals at the Steelers. Joe Burrow looking to get to 5,000 passing yards. He needs 359 yards to do it.
He could do it, too.
He could.
And, I mean, this is a Bengals team fighting for their life right now.
Fighting.
It's partially in their hands, partially out of their hands. They did a hell of a job last week getting what they needed to get done against the Broncos in one of the games of the year. So, if I'm an AFC team, I'm terrified if the Bengals sneak in.
Oh, yeah.
Terrified.
Then on Sunday, we've got Panthers at Falcons. Falcons have to win to keep their postseason hopes alive. Texans at Titans, Giants at Eagles on CBS. Tiki Barber on the call, so it would have been even more poetic if Saquon got the record after everything that happened in the offseason when Saquon signed here. The Jaguars at the Colts, Commanders at the Cowboys, the Bears at the Packers, the Saints at the Buccaneers, the Bills at the Patriots, Chargers at Raiders, 49ers at the Cardinals, Chiefs at the Broncos, the Seahawks at the Rams, the Dolphins at the Jets, and then the real game of the week, Sunday Night Football for the 1 seed, Vikings at Lions.
That's going to be an amazing showdown. I'm very interested to see which way it's going to go. Sam Darnold's been playing out of his mind all season long. Now, will it continue into the Will it continue into the playoffs? Getting over a cold here. That is yet to be seen. He's never really played in the playoffs before, considering he was on the god-awful Jets.
Yeah, he was just a backup for the 49ers last year.
Yeah.
So he never played.
I saw the field because Purdy was playing pretty damn well. Purdy was playing pretty well. Aha.
Aha.
Ah.
Hey.
Hey, whoa.
It's a freaking gabagool.
But nah, it's going to be a fun game. That and the Bengals and Steelers are my 2 picks for game of the week.
Yeah, those will be great. I wish the Commanders would have lost last week because then if the Cowboys would have beat them, they would have missed the playoffs.
That would have been amazing. Been amazing.
Oh,
and it would have been classic Cowboys fashion, too, to
miss
the playoffs and then screw over your division rivals.
Yes.
And also, just a quick sidebar, but, the fact that Eagles fans were ripping Jerry Jones to hell and back, let's keep that up. Let's keep that up.
Can we also acknowledge the fact that the Cowboys released Ezekiel Elliott?
I know.
Thinking that a playoff team would sign him?
No. He ain't getting signed by anybody.
Now, it would be objectively, and I mean objectively, hilarious if the Eagles did sign him and Zeke was on a Super Bowl team with us. But again, the disgust I would feel in my loins, it would almost be like Orlando Scandrick coming to the Eagles, like being an absolute piece of shit. I don't want to give Zeke any accolades in his career.
At least DeMarco Murray was a good enough guy and never really talked smack on us after that.
Yeah, I don't want any parts of that. So keep that stink away from us.
Yeah,
we don't need Cowboy stink in our locker room.
No. That'd be a locker room vibe killer.
Ugh, brother. Ew. But with the NFL playoffs on the horizon, you guys can watch the NFL playoffs all playoffs long on CBS, stream live on Paramount Plus. Stream the NFL playoffs on CBS Live on Paramount Plus all playoffs long, and that includes the AFC Championship game that will be on Paramount Plus as well as CBS Live. No better place. I mean, say what you want. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, playoffs. It's always a fantastic call, no matter what the game is. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be amazing. Plus, I'm pretty sure, you know what else is on Paramount Plus, Harrison? That ever-elusive Nickelodeon broadcast.
Oh, yeah. The Slime Time broadcast.
Oh, all on Paramount Plus.
Boom.
Bring the boom, slime time broadcast on the playoffs, but stream the NFL playoffs on CBS Live on Paramount Plus. Use our link in the description to get started. Sign up for Paramount Plus today, and don't miss a second of the NFL postseason action. And don't miss this week's Eagles-Giants game that will be on CBS and Paramount Plus. Check your local listings and stream the NFL playoffs on CBS Live on Paramount Plus. Get started with our link in the description and sign up for Paramount Plus today. Harrison, let's go to the ice as the Flyers ended 2024 on a high note. They beat the Sharks 4-0 out in San Jose to ring in the new year as winners. And guess what? 2024 was the year of the rebuild beginning for this team. And I'm totally okay with where they are right now. Sure, they're tied with the Blue Jackets in terms of points in the division. They're 1 point off of the Penguins from being fourth in the division. Yeah. And like we've mentioned, would it be nice for this team to get in the playoffs? Absolutely. Is it a necessity for this team to get in the playoffs this year? Not exactly. Now, what the Flyers do need to figure out, and I do like a lot of the prospect aspects of these players on the roster, the goaltending has been rough as of late. Yes. It's been a lot of leakage on the back end, and I always say this when we talk about goaltending and everything on OTB as well when it comes to lacrosse. Your goalie can only do so much. It's also a reflection of your defense. Absolutely. Not necessarily being there for your goaltender. You as a goalie in lacrosse can attest to that as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm not putting 100% of the blame on our goaltending. The defense has to be better. The defense has to improve and get better. But we're not at the point where the defense is part of the rebuild yet. Like, we still have kind of a piece together and duct tape together defense almost. All of the high power, high octane prospects that you're enjoying watching are on the offense, and that's a reflection of seeing these 4-0 type of games. It's a reflection of seeing the Flyers scoring goals. Once they get the defense figured out, once we get my guy Oliver Bonk in the lineup, which I can't wait for, I will 100. He needs to wear number 69. He needs to wear number 69. He needs to wear number 69.
That would be incredible.
Once the defense gets settled, goaltending will be better, but it is a problem right now. And if they had better goaltending, if they had better defense in front of the goalies, the Flyers would 100% be like a sneaky, like scary playoff team right now.
Yeah. And as you said, this year of the rebuild was focused on offense, because after you get a good offense, you can figure out a good defense. And I'm sure in the draft this year, we're going to be looking at defense. We're going to be building up our prospects going from there. And then 2-3 years, we're contenders. Just got to give it time. Trust Danny Briere. And I know this saying has been overused to hell and back in Philadelphia, but trust the process, because that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
The process with a certified direction that we're going in. And I'm trusting number 48 when it comes to this. He's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a GM. Everything he's done so far has been the right move. I'm going to have to wait and see how all these prospects come up, especially Oliver Bonk. I'm ready for him to come and make his NHL debut. And when Jet Luchenko is fully ready, we saw glimpses of him earlier in the year. He definitely wasn't ready at that point. That's not to say he'll be ready next year either, but, a year or two, he'll be NHL ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what the future holds for this team. And ending 2024 with a win is exactly how that year went.
Yeah.
We had a mediocre season last year that set up something good for the future, and a win is a high note to send us into the future.
Now, I am going to write this down so we have it to look back on in April when the season comes to an end. The Flyers literally finished like even Steven in 2024. They went 17-17-4, 38 points. I'm going to write down all of their stats so we have them to look back on and kind of compare the first half of the season being 2024 portion to the 2025 portion. Granted, I know all of you doofuses out there are probably screaming right now, Kyle, there's more games in 2025 than there are in 2024. Shut the fuck up. I know this is an experiment and an exercise. You get better when you play more games, you dipshits.
Yeah.
So in 38 games, and guess what? It's only gonna be 4 more games than what they play in 2024. So shut the fuck up. In 38 games, Flyers go 17, 17, and 4.
Yep.
They recorded 38 points.
Yep.
Scored 119 goals, 136 goals against. Is a minus 17 goal differential for the people who are difficult to comprehend math. And they are 6th in the Metropolitan.
Yep.
Where do you think they improve in one or more of those categories? And which one it would be the best reflection of improvement in the second half?
Second half, best reflection of improvement would be getting that plus minus to more even. Now, as we talked about earlier, the defense and the goaltending has been a liability as of late, but they could figure it out going into the new year. We're coming off a shutout. That is the best possible case scenario.
A
in
plus
a
4 shutout too.
Yeah, and all I want is for that plus minus to get closer to even than further away. And I think that'll be a good sign going into next season. Would it be great to bump us up in the standings? Absolutely. But as we talked about earlier, playoffs aren't really on our mind right now. Leave the playoffs for the team in midnight green.
Mm-hmm. They scored a point per game in 2024 of this season. 38 points in 38 games.
This offense is a million times better than the offense we've seen in the past year, 2 years, 3 years. Mm-hmm. So goals for, just let them keep scoring. The reason that we've lost all these games, 5-4, 6-4, 7-5, is not on the offense. We've been scoring at a ridiculous clip. Now it's just time for the defense to get it figured out.
So we do this every time a new month rolls around since you've been back on the show.
Yep.
We'll go through the Flyers January games. You give me your record prediction for those games, or point prediction, however you want to shake it up. All right, so by the time everyone's listening to this, Flyers will be playing in Vegas on Thursday to kick off the new year. So they're at Vegas, and then they're at Toronto on Sunday at 7 p.m. Before they come back home for a nice little 4-game homestand against Toronto, against the Dallas Stars, against the Ducks, and then against the Florida Panthers. Then they go on a road trip to Columbus, to the Islanders, and to the Devils. And then they come back home for 1 game against the Red Wings before they go back to New York to play the Rangers and the Islanders. Then they go home to play the Devils. Then they go to the Devils. And then they are home to the Islanders to finish January.
All right. So even though we're coming off a nice little high after that shutout win against San Jose, that's San Jose. I think we're going to lose to Vegas. I think we're going to split with the Maple Leafs. Lose the one away, win the one at home. So we lose to the Stars, beat the Ducks, not the Panthers. Lose to the Panthers, beat the Blue Jackets and the Isles. Lose to the Devils, beat the Red Wings, beat the Rangers. Beat the Islanders again because the Islanders aren't that great. Home against the Devils, we win. Away against the Devils, we lose. Beat the Islanders again. So I said 2 losses off the bat. Then a win, so we're at 2 points. Loss, 4 points because we win the Ducks. Lost the Panthers, 6 points, 7 points. Or 6 points, 8 points. Lost the Devils, 10 points against the Wings. 12 points against the Rangers. 14 against the Islanders. Split with the Devils. So 16. I'm saying 18 points in the month of January.
I don't hate that. I think the only thing that I am at the same result as you. I don't know if they beat the Maple Leafs in either game, but I think they beat the Stars.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that too. The Maple Leafs, I feel like they're
They're
a
like
team we
on a
play well
tear
against.
this year.
They're on a tear. They're a team we play against at home pretty damn well. So, and with Austin Matthews in the building, we're gonna have a bunch of Philly fans out there trying to heckle the hell out of him. So,
I wonder, Saturday, January 11th, I'll be covering the Wings game that morning.
ooh,
I wonder. Oh, yeah, no. I was going to say, if the tickets were cheap, they are not. I was
they're
going to
not
be in the
cheap.
building and boo old William Gauthier.
Hey, we shut him up the other day, so that was great. You see,
Ti-
he got a penalty right off rip.
He's such a doofus. I can't
He's a
stand that kid.
goober. He's
Yeah,
a goober.
cheapest ticket right now on what I'm hoping. We'll get to our goals in 2025. I hope this company becomes our official ticketing partner.
Yeah.
Cheapest ticket to get in the building right now on the best ticketing app, no free ads. $81 per ticket for 2 tickets.
Yeah.
For that Ducks game.
Good
A
Lord.
stinky Ducks team.
Good
But
Lord.
guess what? You can get in the building on Monday, January 13th against the defending Stanley Cup champions for $34.
What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's because everybody wants to boo the hell out of William Gauthier.
Yep. And it's a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
well,
So
we might have to monitor that situation because I'll already be in the building. So I
Yeah.
might just have to run out to my car again, leave my car there because I have parking
Yep.
with the Wings, and then run back inside. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited to see how the season continues to shake out for the Flyers.
It's been a fun year so far. Just let it ride.
And our Flyers breakdown brought to you by our awesome beer partner, Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. Guys, go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Pittsburgh areas. Check out their merch storefront as well. Amazing Kenny merch. They got the new Kenwood Beer golf glasses as well. Kenwoodbeer.com. Check out the Kenny Finder. See who's got it on tap. See who's got it in local liquor stores in your area. Must be 21 or older to do so. And of course, please drink responsibly. Our Flyers Breakdown also brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. You want to stand out in the crowd in 2025? You want to look your best? You want to rep your favorite Philly sports team or your favorite Philly sports podcast? PHI Apparel Company has you covered with their unique designs for all. There's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co. When you go to checkout, use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order at phiapparel.co. That's phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND, and you will get 10% off your next merch order. And when you get your merch, tag us in it. We'll repost it. We'll post it everywhere. We want to see where you're repping your merch from. phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND, 10% off your order. They have this awesome new Eagles shirt, Harrison. It's a Eagles helmet, and the wing is in the shape of a middle finger. It's you give them the bird.
Yes, sir.
But let's talk a little Sixers. They are in action right now against the Sacramento Kings and absolutely decimating them. It's 51-39 with about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. It's brought to you by our awesome pals over at FOCO. We love FOCO here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. And FOCO, recently they've been adding a whole bunch of new items for your favorite sports fans, including our Philadelphia 76ers. And they've got the 76ers overalls, guys. Check out the overalls. Check out the Joel Embiid Big Head bobblehead, the Sherpa plush throw blanket, my personal favorite, the team gnome, the bottle cap wall sign, the whole 9 yards. Click the link in the description. We got a whole curated shopping list for you. And shop for your favorite sports fan. Get their memorabilia, their collectibles, and their apparel leveled up going into the new year with our friends at FOCO. click the link in the description, shop our Sixers curated shopping list, and check out everything FOCO has to offer with officially licensed products from your favorite sports teams going into the new year. Shout out to FOCO for being a proud partner of the podcast. Sixers are they're rolling, Harrison. They're doing things, and it's making me happy inside. Now, I did say on Monday's episode I'm not fully back in on them just yet. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done for the boys on the hardwood, but when you can go out and you can grind out a win on Christmas like we talked about, then you go out west and you beat the Utah Jazz, and then on Monday you go out and you beat a bad Portland Trailblazers team like you should, and now you're taking it to a Sacramento Kings team who's down on their laurels. I'm liking the way they're playing, and guess what? Who would have thunk when your stars are healthy, you play well.
I'm gonna give it a very, very, very cautious. We're back? Question mark. Like it feels good. I as I said last week, that win on Christmas Day against the Celtics had the potential to be the turning point for this season. And going into the second half of the year, they could just completely shut us all up and turn it around. So
I said,
see.
On this road trip that they're on that started against Utah, this was after the Christmas game, I said, if they can win 4 out of their next 5, because they do have a back-to-back and they play tomorrow.
Yeah.
By the time you guys are listening to this, they'll be playing the Golden State Warriors, who the Warriors are not like world beaters like they have been in the past.
Not the 2016 team.
Still have Steph. They still have great players. They still have, shout out to the lacrosse world, Pat Spencer doing the damn thing.
And they have Indiana Hoosiers legend Trace Jackson Davis doing the damn thing.
I took the Warriors game as a loss just because it's a back-to-back. I also don't know if – so I don't know if Joel's going to play against the Warriors because he's not playing tonight. So maybe that plays into changing things up there. But after the Warriors, you have the Nets in Brooklyn on Saturday. If you can win 4 out of those 5, you're on a good pace to like finding your way back into this season and digging like you're almost like Boba Fett coming out of the fucking Sarlac Pit.
Yeah.
In the book of Boba Fett, where like it took you a long time. It took you a couple sequel movies and a sequel show and a couple seasons of that sequel show to figure out how the hell you got out of that Sarlac Pit. But they're ever so close to getting out of that Sarlac Pit.
Yeah. And man, they dug themselves such a deep grave early on the season that I just completely wrote them off. But if they get hot at the right time and Joel Embiid and Paul George are completely there for the playoffs, this could be a team no one wants to play. It very may well be the team that could play spoiler for the big names. So we'll have to see.
They are right now 11th in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
They are about 3.5 games out of 5th.
That ain't impossible.
And they're 4.5 out of 4th.
I really thought the season was dead and buried, but they're right there. They can make a push for a home spot. And
now, will I say this team can win a championship this year? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that has to be done.
It would take a miracle.
Right. We talked about it last week. They need to improve the backup guard position with Jared McKee being out for the year.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, they're working their way out of the Sarlac Pit. And right now, Paul George is having one of his better games in a Sixers uniform. He's got 20 points in 14 minutes. So
hey, that's something.
That's a huge benefit there. And Eric Gordon's got 11 points in 10 minutes. So
another Indiana Hoosiers legend right there. He has a pizza place in Bloomington, actually.
Yes, I did know that.
EG's Greek Pizzeria. Pretty damn good.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like this is a Sacramento Kings team that they should be able to beat, and I love this take too. And I wanted to get your thought on it. Future friend of the program, my boy Cliff. Check out Off the Cliff Show. Is speaking into existence the Sixers trading for one De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh.
The Kings firing their coach. They're 14-19. They're 12th in the West right now. Is it possible? I have no idea. Because guess what, everyone? When I even try to remotely think about NBA trades, my brain combusts into 10,000 tiny little pieces.
Yeah.
But could they trade De'Aaron Fox?
It's on the cards. It's on the
Maybe.
cards.
Maybe. I mean, I think De'Aaron Fox would be awesome on this team.
Yeah.
And how old is De'Aaron Fox? That's a
He
question.
can't be older than like 28, can
He's
he?
27.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Now, the other question is, what's De'Aaron Fox's contract look like?
Ooh.
De'Aaron Fox signed a 4-year, like $24.5 million contract in... Okay, so he's got this year and next year on the books.
Yeah, no, just pick him up, see what we can do, see if he helps out. If
He's
not,
on the books next year for like $37 million, which in NBA terms is nothing.
It's pennies.
Because he signed a 5-year, $163 million contract in 2021.
Yeah, no.
That was like his rookie extension.
At this point, fuck it, we ball. Go for it.
I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it either. He's a good player. I think he'd fit in pretty well with this team. His play style would complement Maxey's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Go for it.
Cliff will be on the show in the new year. We're working on our schedules and doing a crossover collab. But definitely go check out his show. He does a great job. Like, does daily Sixers content and is pumping out like episodes every single day after every game. So definitely check out Cliff. Follow him on social. He does a great job covering the team from a fan perspective. Gives his fan analysis just like we do. He's the best. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Sixers. I'm pleasantly intrigued. Call me Poppy on highly questionable. CC, I'm very intrigued about how they're playing right now. Last little bit here before we get into our hopes and Delulu dreams for the pod in 2025 on a little bit, because we'll also do this on pod anniversary day, because that's underground New Year. You know, you've heard of Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, all that. We have underground New Year on February 7th. But the Phillies did make a minor transaction today as we record this on New Year's Day. They traded Tyler Gilbert, who was designated for assignment when the Phillies traded for Jesus Luzardo, to the Chicago White Sox in exchange for minor league right-hander Aaron Combs. Now, if you're a baseball sicko, Aaron Combs probably sounds familiar to you, because Aaron Combs closed out the College World Series for the University of Tennessee last year and was an 8th-round pick in the 2024 Major League Baseball draft. I'm not saying Aaron Combs is going to be some elite, unbelievable closer off the rip type player. What I am saying about Aaron Combs is that last year in 6 games, in 7 2/3 innings, he had 13 strikeouts and a 1.17 whip down in the minors. I believe it was in High A. He will be reporting to for the Phillies, so he's with the Jersey Shore Blue Claws. But last year for Single A Kannapolis, he did not allow a run over 7 2/3 innings. What I do think the type of player Aaron Combs can be is kind of your Jeff Hoffman, kind of your trying to think of Phillies pitchers like that in the past that have like kind of came out of nowhere but really made a presence for themselves. He can be that kind of player. He's still very young in terms of like his baseball career. But I like the move. It's like a subtle under the radar move. Let him pitch in high Single A. It's almost like you recouped a prospect from one of the prospects you traded away for Carlos Estevez.
Exactly.
I like the move. He's 23 years old. He can. The other player, like he could be like an Orion Kerkering type of player. I like the move. Like the fact that you traded for Jesus Luzardo for pennies on the dollar, and then you DFA Tyler Gilbert, and then you end up getting an 8th round pick from last year's draft.
Yeah.
In return for him, that's smart wheeling and dealing.
And this is a guy who knows how to win a championship. I mean, he closed out the College World Series, and I mean, that's one of the best spectacles in all of college sports, apart from like the CFP and March Madness. So I like it. Just let him develop. He's young. He's younger than both of us. Like, just let him cook. Let him learn
I
how to
like
pitch
the move.
at the major league level.
It's a very sneaky, solid, under the radar move that not many Phillies fans will care about. But guess what we're going to do on this podcast? Because we're absolute fucking minor league baseball sickos. We're going to be keeping a close eye on this guy now because I like the prospect that is Aaron Combs.
I agree.
And guess what, guys? If you know me, I have a pretty damn good track record with Phillies prospects and attaching myself to them and them panning out. Harrison, for reference, I'll give you a rundown here. I have been a huge fan of a certain somebody named Ranger Suarez since the moment I saw his name listed in the Phillies system, simply because his name was Ranger Suarez. I was like, this guy has to work out.
Yeah.
And look at that. I was first on the scene in believing in Alec Boehm. Look how that's worked out. I love the prospect of Bryson Stott being drafted in the first round and the fact that he fell to us the year that we drafted him. You look at some other prospects that I believed in. Let's see. That have worked out. I mean, he wasn't really a prospect per se, and unfortunately, he did things off the field that deterred me from ever believing in him again. But I was first on the scene and believing in Odubel Herrera before he turned into a scumbag.
Yeah.
So there was that. I have also Phillies first round pick last year, Dante Nori, follower and listener of the pod, can confirm. Number 6 prospect. He's gonna be a dude. It's going to be a while. It's going to be another like 3 years, but he's going to be a dude. Also, we've always said it because, again, names matter in baseball. Griff McGarry is going to be a dude for the Phillies. The prospects that they have right now, like looking at the Phillies prospect list right now too, since we're talking about them, like, goddamn, Brian Barber, I just want to shake his hand. He is a genius when it comes to prospect evaluation and talent evaluation and drafting players. I'm going to read off the top 10 prospects for you, Harrison, and I guarantee you know more than half of them by name and know that they're good prospects.
Yep.
Number 1, Aiden Miller.
Yep.
Everyone knows Aiden Miller.
No doubter.
Number 2, Andrew Painter. Will soon be graduating from prospect status.
Yep.
Number 3, Justin Crawford.
Yep.
Number 4, Eduardo Tate, who the fact that our number 4 prospect is an 18-year-old catcher is just, makes my heart swoon. Number 5, Mick Abel, who has a chance to be in the bullpen this year. Number 6, Dante Nori.
Yep.
Number 7, Griffin Burkholder, our second-round pick this past year, too. Great name as well. Number 8, Devin Saltaban. Great name. He's a shortstop, second baseman, too. That's a great name. Brian Rincon is our number 9 prospect. And number 10, Gabriel Rincones Jr.
Yep.
Also, this guy, we might have to attach our name to our number 11 prospect here, Harrison.
Yeah.
Outfielder, 21 years old. He's got a baseball name. John Spikerman. Your last name is Spikerman.
Hey, you know who would have loved him? Ty Cobb.
You know who else would have loved him? And as soon as he's getting ready to get called up in about 2 years, and I hope he's on the Phillies when he does, because I will immediately buy his jersey. When he's in that realm of like, okay, we're getting ready to call him up, I'm going to drop the meanest impression of J. Jonah Jameson. Bring me Spiker Man.
God damn it. I love it.
I need it.
I love
need it.
Inject it into my veins, man. Come on now.
And like, you go and get a prospect like this from the White Sox, and like it's almost similar to like what the Phillies did at the trade deadline last year when they got Seth Johnson from the Orioles.
Yeah.
Like, he was a player that's like, he's another guy who we're not really talking about who could be a part of this bullpen in 2025. Like, he's our number 14 prospect, and he throws the shit out of the ball. And it wouldn't surprise me if he, at some point, is on the major league roster this year. Like, our prospects have gotten so good that Griff McGarry has dropped to being our number 20 prospect. A couple of years ago, he was in our top 10.
Yeah. No, it's going to be insane. I'm ready to see a bunch of these names up in the MLB. I'm ready for Mick Abel. He's been on my radar for a while now.
Been a big Mick Abel guy.
Fun fact, he's my brother goes to Oregon. He was pretty tight with some of my brother's roommates. So
Heyo.
That's a nice little 7 degrees of connection right there.
Yes.
So
yeah, a very awesome move for the Phillies there.
Yes.
To go and get Combs. So last bit here. You can leave us a voicemail too, speakpipe.com/underground sports Philadelphia, and let us know what you want to hear on the pod this year. I figured, Harrison, we could rattle off some ideas. They could be as crazy, spontaneous, and delusional as you want. But some things that we should do on the pod, people we should attempt to get on the pod, stuff like that in 2025.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I want the YouTube to hit 1.5K. 1.5K subscribers. I'm feeling that's a good number. Let's see here. Do you want me to go full delusional on the dream guest here? Or?
Go for it.
All right. Give me a sit-down interview with Jason Kelce. Nice little sit-down with the guy. If not him, maybe we get Tanner McKee. That'd be fun. And let's see here. I don't know what our followers are at on Twitter because, as I've said previously, I've been off Twitter for a minute now. But let's get to the next 1,000.
We're at 3860.
3860, 4.5. 4.5 on Twitter. And then let me check the Insta real quick.
I think we're at 1520 or something like that.
1520. Let's get to 2.5. But yeah, those are my goals right there. And I feel like those are all attainable except for maybe the Jason Kelce. But like those are all pretty attainable.
So my goals. YouTube, I want to hit 2K.
2K. I like it.
2K on YouTube. Because I know as soon as we hit that first 1,000, it'll start going. Yeah. So I want to hit 2K this year on YouTube. I'll piggyback you on the dream guess. I'll go a little delusional and then I'll go a little more attainable. Delulu guest. I am going to say Delulu guest. I'm going to say Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah, I like that. Though. I feel like that's pretty realistic.
It's realistic, but it's also Delulu because how many interviews is Dave Dombrowski giving typically? Yeah. My attainable guest interview is going to be Garrett Stubbs.
I like that. Oh, Stubbs is the man.
I want Garrett Stubbs on the pod. Garrett Stubbs' dad, listener of the pod. I'm going to give one more because it needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I can already guarantee Matt will be on the episode if this happens. 2025 is the year we get Nick Castellanos on this podcast.
Yeah. Nick, please. We love you all. We love you so much, and please stay in Philadelphia for the rest of your career. But yes.
Nick's mom was our initial entry point because when Nick was on the Reds in 2021, we said that was our guy. Yeah. She confirmed that Nick uses a flip phone. He does not have a smartphone.
Hell yeah.
And then Nick's brother follows us. Nick's wife follows us. the Castellanos family is our family, essentially,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we need Nick on the show. We are genuinely Nick Castellanos super fans here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Like, truly, I love Nick with every fiber of my being. So those are my three. We will also have more guests on anniversary day because that's what we do. We project our guest projections there. Twitter, it's so interesting. I'm going to do social media as a whole.
Yeah.
Because, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Hopefully that sticks around. TikTok, I believe we're at 227, so I'm going to do some quick math here because math is hard. Never forget that. Math is hard. We said 3860 on Twitter. Instagram was what, 1520?
Yeah.
I think on Threads we're at 385. And then on Facebook, I believe Facebook's one of our most followed accounts, which we need to utilize even more. Facebook, we are at 2686.
Okay, yeah.
So my goal, looking at everything, I want us as a whole this year to hit 14K. No, I'm going to go around 15K cross social platform.
Yeah, I like that. That's very attainable.
On all the underground channels. That doesn't include our other shows. But I want to hit 15K on our social platforms. I think that's possible. I think we can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know on the voicemail line what you guys want, what you think we can improve upon, all that good stuff. But it's a new year, so we're setting new goals. I'm also adding another one because I'm gonna do my damnedest. I still gotta do it once we finish this episode. Posting a YouTube short on the main channel and on my personal YouTube every single day of the year.
Yeah. That's a good goal.
Because I got to get better at that. So yeah, one YouTube short every day on both my personal channel and on the Underground YouTube channel. So there you have it. Those are our goals for 2025 on Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave us a voicemail. Let us know what you want to hear from us, what you think we can attain as goals. And we'll have more in February when the anniversary rolls around. But make sure you guys are following us. Help us reach our 15K on social media goal across the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, all that good stuff. We're on every social platform. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star review. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Let's hit 1.5 and 2K sooner rather than later. But let's get to 900. Let's get to 1,000 and make that even more attainable. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. And, of course, ring that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And the show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. And their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 704 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Happy New Year from everybody here at Underground to you and yours. I'll talk to you guys on Monday, hopefully talking about an Eagles win with the backups against the Giants. And we get ready for the postseason next week, Harrison. Can't believe the NFL playoffs are here. But until then, for Harrison, I'm KB. We'll catch you guys on the next one. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here, and we are signing off. Peace.